Hi, this is David with BestRest Products, home of a cycle pump tire inflator that has a lifetime warranty. Today we're going to be installing a Guglatech fuel filter on my BMW 800GS. We'll show you that process. This is what the filter looks like. A lot of the filters go down into the filler neck of your gas tank, but this model happens to fit on the nozzle inside the tank itself. So we're going to have to take the cap off, pull that out, and install the filter on that nozzle. Anyhow, what we have to do is remove the screws that hold the cap in place. The first thing we want to do is stuff a rag in those holes so that we don't accidentally drop one of those screws down inside the gas tank. There's 6 holes that hold that cap in place. Or actually, yeah, 6. 4 of the screws are black and 2 of them are silver. If you remove the black screws first, you can remove the cap. And then when you remove the final 2 screws, you'll remove the nozzle assembly. There's the cap assembly itself. And I guess there's 3 screws down here, so that gives you a total of 7. When I remove these silver screws, that will allow me to remove the red nozzle. There is a gasket in between this nozzle assembly and the top of the fuel tank. Normally there's no need to replace that gasket, but if you want, you could order one from your local BMW dealer. There's a bezel or a ring that comes off, and then finally we remove the nozzle itself. I'm now looking down into my gas tank. So the way this filter fits is it's going to slide onto this red nozzle, and I have to fit a retainer wire up through the vent holes in this red nozzle. So I slip this up through a vent hole, and as I do that, I slip the filter assembly over the red nozzle in this fashion. And then I take this red wire and I put it back down through the hole, the vent hole. And then I'll wrap this wire around the top of the fabric so that I retain it in place. This way, even though it's inside the gas tank, there's no way that it can come down, there's no way it can fall off. And now it's simply a matter of rolling up this filter in this fashion and placing it back down inside the gas tank, reattaching the red ring, the spacer, and the cap. So we did the install according to the Guglatech instructions that are available on the website. But we found that in practical application, there was an easier way to do it. Yes, the wire does come up through the vent hole, it curves around, it goes back down. And you can see that wire right there. Their instructions tell you to take the excess wire and wrap it around the body to hold things in place. And we found trying to get the filter and everything through the opening in the gas tank was problematic. So by eliminating that, snipping off the extra wire, we found it was easier to go in. The other trick is that when you put it in, start with, here's my hole, start getting this part in first and then rotate it down in that fashion. Wiggle it, jiggle it, and get it so it lays down flat, and make sure that all of your studs for your screws are flat with the brass fittings in the gas tank, and that way you're sure that you're not going to have a fold of material or something preventing that red part from getting down tight against the gas tank. Also, you see the little wire right there. We had a concern that when the silver cap was placed over it, that it wouldn't seal properly, because we thought this red ring made the contact and closed off the gas inside the hole. But we did some tests and some measurements, and we know that it doesn't interfere. So the fact that that little red retainer is shown right there has no impact on the closing and the sealing off of the gas cap. So we'll wrap this thing up. We'll show you the finished product. So I've folded the filter, and the wing is off to that side. I gently nudge the filter down inside. I'll use my installation tool to help push it in to the hole. And it's down tight against the top of the gas tank itself. Now it's just a matter of putting the screws back in place and spreading out my filter with my filter installation tool. And because this wire can be bent, I can get all the little corners that I need and spread that filter out inside, so I get the maximum exposure of the material to the fuel. Once again, because I'm going to be doing screws, I'm going to put my piece of paper towel in there, and then I'll get my 3 silver screws to hold this red ring in place. Tighten those down using recommended BMW torque settings. Fortunately, just the other day I had my hands calibrated, and I know the specific torque just by feel. Those are brass screw fittings, so you don't want to strip them out. What you don't want to hear is the sound of a snapping screw. I refit the spacer. I fit the cap assembly and the 4 screws that hold it. Remove my piece of towel, snap it in place, and I'm done. Now when I go to fill my gas tank, I can be assured that I'm not going to get water or sand or rust or other crud inside my gas tank. I won't have the problems on this bike like I did that one time up on top of a mountain. This is David with BestRest Products, home of the cycle pump tire inflator that has a lifetime warranty. We'll see you on the trail.